Did you know that according to the U.S. Department of Education that only 18% of children entering kindergarten can demonstrate familiarity with conventions of print? In other words, what this means is that children who are 5 years old do not know that when we read, we start from the left and we move from the right and from the top to the bottom. That's a really scary statistic. That means children who are 5 years old don't know anything about reading. Because of this, people should read to their children to improve academic success and create a love of reading from the time they are just babies. I have read many articles and talked to a few people in preparation of this speech. A couple of the websites I looked at when I was preparing myself were teachingchildrentoread.net and familyfriendlyfun.net. These websites provided many valuable statistics and opinions and studies done by professors, doctors, and other professional individuals. In my speech today, I am going to prove to you, with the evidence I have found, that many children have trouble reading, writing, and using basic vocabulary. First, I will prove to you that many children are not read to and that it does create problems. According to Davis Young, only 39% of parents read to their children on a daily basis. This is the United States of America, where education is readily available anytime you want it. And this statistic is telling us that less than half of our young children are read to. And according to readingisfundamental.com, 34% of children entering kindergarten cannot identify the letters of the alphabet by name. This means that children who are 5 years old do not know the alphabet. They can't look at a letter A and know that it's an A, and likewise with all of the other letters. In my research, I have also found many ways to combat these problems that children have linguistically. One of the first ways to begin a reading regimen with your young children is to pick books that are easy to read. If a book is not easy to read and it's not interesting, it's going to be very hard to get your child to focus and to keep his or her attention. Some books that are easy to read are books by Dr. Seuss. This is The Cat in the Hat, and it's a very whimsical and lyrical book. It's very easy to read, and it just sounds nice coming out of your mouth, and your child is going to like reading this, and he or she is going to enjoy the small drawings, and is just going to have an overall fun time reading a Dr. Seuss book. It's almost sing-songy. It sounds like you're singing when you read it. Another type of book I have found works well when reading to small children are the Eric Carle books. He writes and illustrates his own book. As you can see from the front cover, the illustration is very colorful and vibrant and inviting. All of his stories are very sentimental and offer your child and yourself a life lesson. They're short enough to where your child is not going to lose his attention reading this, and it's going to be an overall positive experience for you and your child. And the third type of book that is good for very young children are books that come with music. This book has a little music CD that goes around and works with the stories in the book. And your child is initially going to be invited to this book because of the music. But at least it's going to get him or her around the book, and eventually he or she will open it and read it. It's just going to be an attention getter for them. And the next obvious step to combat the reading issues and linguistic issues that children have because they are not read to from the time they are small children is to simply read to your child. Reading to your children is going to help them with so many other life skills and issues they may have. One of the best best ways to implement reading into an everyday schedule for you and your child is to take 10 minutes a day and schedule it in at a time when you're going to do it every day at the same time to read to your child. For instance, if you give your child a bath before you put him or her to bed, in between bath time and bedtime, take that 10 minutes to help your child unwind and start to relax, and take that 10 minutes and read to your child. 10 minutes is nothing out of our day when we think about how many other things we do. And the next thing we need to understand about reading to our children is that it's going to create a good foundation for the future. According to FamilyFriendlyFun.net, all the habits formed at a young age are going to stay with your child from the time they are very young to adulthood. They're not going to lose those habits. So we want to make reading one of those habits that they have as an adult. And Barbara Friedman DeVito at teachingchildrentoread.net says that reading can open up new worlds that will enrich our children's lives. It's going to teach children not only reading to learn, but it's going to open up their imagination. When they're hearing so many of these ideas that are from authors' imaginations, it's going to encourage their own imaginations. In review of what we've talked about today, children will be behind the curve and lack proficient language skills if they are not read to as small children. And there are many simple ways to combat this. So go ahead, pick up a book and read to your child today. I challenge you, if you don't already have it, for your own children or for maybe other children that you spend a lot of time with, family, friends, or church friends, any of the social circles you're in, I challenge you to go and get a library card. It's only a couple dollars if it costs anything. And make it your goal to go to the library every week or so to pick up a few books and bring them home and make sure you read them to your child. Your child is getting older every single day, so don't waste any more time not reading to them. Give them the tools of success. Remember, the habits we create in our children today are going to be the habits that they have adults. Thank you.